There is a strange tension inside every ambitious mind, the desire to rise. And the heaviness that keeps us still. The ancient warriors of Japan understood this conflict deeply. They believed that the greatest battles in life are not fought with enemies on the field, but with resistance inside the self. Today's story is about a young warrior named Rin, a man who dreamed of greatness but feared the discipline required to reach it. His journey reveals a truth many of us already feel, that wanting something is easy, doing something is not. If you have ever felt trapped between inspiration and inaction, between dreaming and moving, then stay with this story. It may change the way you see motivation, discipline, and the path to success. And before we begin, remember to subscribe. This channel is where we explore the wisdom of ancient warriors, Zen philosophy, and the art of steady self-mastery. Rin grew up in a quiet mountain village where dawn always arrived in silence. Each morning, he would watch seasoned warriors train on the open field outside his home. Their movements were measured, disciplined, and graceful, a language written through sweat and steel. Rin dreamed of standing among them, becoming stronger than his past, stronger than his doubts. He imagined himself mastering every form of swordplay, winning tournaments, earning respect, and bringing honor back to his family name. His ambition was vast, burning bright every night as he planned, envisioned, and spoke of what he would one day become. Friends admired his passion, elders praised his potential. Rin began to believe that dreaming big was the same as growing strong. Yet when sunrise returned and the warriors stepped onto the field, Rin hesitated. He found reasons to stay inside. Perhaps he was tired, perhaps the weather was too cold, maybe tomorrow would be better. His body remained still, even as his imagination raced forward. Days drifted by, then weeks, then months. All the while, younger students, some smaller, some quieter, were out there every day. They stumbled, failed, corrected themselves, and tried again. Rin watched them improve, sometimes with admiration, sometimes with discomfort. Their progress was undeniable. Their blades sharpened, their confidence grew, their presence changed. Meanwhile, Rin's dreams only expanded in his mind. He spoke about them often, repeating promises, repeating visions, yet nothing around him was different. His hands were soft, his sword dull, his body untested. He began to feel a weight in his chest, the uneasy knowledge that his ambition was outpacing his reality. One evening, after watching the others train until dusk, Rin walked home beneath a sky streaked with fading firelight. He felt small, he felt left behind, and for the first time, he wondered if the problem was not a lack of opportunity, but a lack of action. He whispered to himself, "How can I dream of winning battles I refuse to prepare for?" In that moment, something inside him stirred, not anger, not shame, but clarity, a realization that his dreams had not made him stronger. They had made him weaker. And with that, Rin took his first honest step toward change. As Rin stood beneath that quiet sky, he finally understood something the warriors had known for centuries: ambition alone is a fragile weapon. Dreams feel powerful in the mind, yet powerless in the world. What changes a person is not vision, but motion, not desire, but discipline. The samurai called this understanding Kaizen, the art of small, continuous improvement. It was not dramatic or loud. It did not rely on inspiration or motivation. Instead, it lived in repetition, in every daily training session, every swing of the sword, every silent morning spent refining what seemed insignificant. Rin realized he had been chasing the illusion of progress. By talking about his goals, he felt rewarded, as if he had already achieved something. His mind celebrated, even though his reality remained unchanged. The gap between wanting and doing had swallowed his potential. He remembered watching the younger students train. Their steps were small, sometimes clumsy, sometimes slow, but always real. And because they practiced even when they did not feel ready, improvement became inevitable. Their bodies grew stronger before they felt stronger. Their confidence arrived after their actions, not before. Rin saw the truth clearly. Progress is not born from emotion. Progress is born from effort. Kaizen was not about sudden transformation. It was about tiny movements, repeated until they shaped the person who performed them. The sword did not become sharp in a single strike. The warrior did not become skilled in a single week. The mountain was not climbed in a single breath. And so Rin made a silent vow. To stop chasing perfect conditions. To stop waiting for motivation. To begin, with one small step, every day. He understood that even the smallest action held more power than the grandest intention. That growth did not come from thinking, but from doing. And with that realization, the path forward no longer felt mysterious or overwhelming. It felt simple, it felt honest, it felt possible. Rin's journey into true strength had finally begun. The next morning, before the sun had fully risen, Rin stepped outside. The grass was wet, the air cold, and the world still half asleep. His heart whispered doubts, but his feet continued forward. He walked to the open field where the warriors trained every day. And for the first time, he drew his sword without hesitation. He didn't begin with a full routine. He didn't attempt advanced forms. He didn't try to impress anyone. Instead, he practiced a single movement, one clean, steady swing, then another, and another. 30 minutes passed in silence. His body trembled from effort. His breathing grew heavy, but when he sheathed his sword, something inside him felt different, clearer, lighter. The next day, he returned. 30 minutes turned into 40. One swing turned into dozens. Clumsy movements became smoother. He did not feel powerful, not yet, but he felt present, and that was enough. Weeks passed. Rin trained through rain and heat, through fatigue and doubt. His progress was subtle, almost invisible to anyone watching. But inside, something was changing. His mind no longer searched for excuses. His mornings no longer felt empty. His body no longer resisted the effort. He was building a rhythm, the quiet heartbeat of Kaizen. Meanwhile, the younger students who had once surpassed him began to notice his presence. They saw his persistence, not flashy, not loud, but constant. Some even asked to train beside him. Rin was surprised, almost embarrassed. He hadn't intended to lead. He simply intended to show up. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, his inner world transformed. Discipline replaced doubt. Consistency replaced hesitation. Action replaced dreaming. One night, after another long practice, Rin stood beneath the moonlight, sweat on his skin and dirt on his palms. The world around him felt silent, almost sacred. He closed his eyes and understood something profound. He no longer needed motivation to train. Training itself had become the source of motivation. The path that once seemed impossible now felt natural, even inevitable. Rin wasn't chasing greatness anymore. He was growing into it, one small step at a time. As Rin's training continued, he began to see that the transformation wasn't just physical. It was inward, a shift in the way he related to effort, time, and identity. He realized that when he focused on small actions, the future no longer felt intimidating. The journey no longer felt overwhelming. The samurai had always taught that strength was not something earned in a single moment of inspiration, but in countless moments of quiet effort. Rin finally understood this. He saw that every swing of his sword was not only sharpening steel, it was sharpening his mind. He learned to let go of the obsession with results. He learned to release the tension of expectation. He learned to value process over perfection. Through this, Rin discovered a powerful truth. Discipline is not a punishment. Discipline is a form of love. Love for one's purpose. Love for one's potential. Love for the future self waiting to emerge. And with that love came something even deeper, freedom. Rin no longer felt chained to excuses or driven by emotion. He didn't need to feel ready, confident, or inspired. His actions no longer depended on mood or convenience. The practice itself had become his anchor. And this is where the story reaches beyond Rin, into the lives of those listening. If you wait for motivation, you surrender your future to your emotions. If you rely on discipline, you reclaim your future with your actions. Every great transformation, physical, mental, spiritual, is built on the same foundation. One small step, repeated. Just as Rin discovered, you do not need to be brilliant. You do not need to be fearless. You do not need perfect timing. You only need to begin. Rin's story reminds us that the distance between who we are and who we want to become is not crossed in a single leap. It is crossed step by step, steadily, patiently, consistently. The dream may be large, but the movement toward it is always small. That is not weakness, that is the path. If you feel lost on your journey, begin with one action. If you feel behind, train for a single minute. If you feel tired, do the smallest version possible. Because the tiniest step forward will always carry more power than the greatest intention left undone. The samurai taught that a blade waiting for perfect weather will rust in its sheath. Life is the same, conditions will never be flawless. Motivation will never be constant. Confidence will never arrive before effort. But effort creates confidence. Action creates momentum. Progress creates meaning. Like Rin, you are capable of strengthening yourself from the inside out, not through sudden inspiration, but through steady commitment. And tomorrow, when the world is quiet and the morning air still cool, you will have a choice. Stay in the dream, or step into the work. That choice shapes everything. If this story moved you, if it brought clarity, strength, or direction, then let this be your first small step. Subscribe to the channel. Join this community of warriors, thinkers, dreamers, and quiet fighters who are learning to sharpen their minds and build their strength one peaceful day at a time. Leave a comment and share the small step you will begin today. It may be the start of your own transformation. Thank you for walking this path with us. The journey continues.